One overheard sentence at my father's birthday dinner cracked my family's perfect image wide open. And what I found in the silence between the words changed everything I thought I knew about who I am. The air was thick with the scent of roasted lamb and rosemary, the kind of smell that clung to your clothes and reminded you of home. It was Dad's 65th birthday, and the house was alive with the chaos of a family gathering. My family, Mom, Dad, my older sister Clara, my younger brother Nate, and a smattering of aunts, uncles, and cousins, had turned the backyard into a festival of noise and nostalgia. Strings of fairy lights draped across the pergola, casting a warm glow over the long wooden table where we'd all squeezed in, elbow to elbow, passing bowls of mashed potatoes and arguing over who got the last slice of Mom's pecan pie. This was us, the Campbells, the family everyone in our small town of Willow Creek envied. We were the ones who showed up to church together, who filled the bleachers at Nate's soccer games, who rented the same beach house every summer for 2 decades. Unshakable, that's what I'd always believed. I'm Ethan Campbell, 31, single, a graphic designer who'd moved back to Willow Creek after a brief stint in Chicago that didn't quite pan out. I'd always been the quiet one, the observer, content to let Clara's sharp wit and Nate's boundless energy steal the spotlight. But I loved them fiercely, and I thought they loved me the same. Sunday dinners, late-night board games, the way Mom would call just to check if I'd eaten. These were the threads that stitched us together. Or so I thought. That night, as Dad blew out the candles on his cake and Clara led a tipsy rendition of Happy Birthday, I slipped inside to grab another bottle of wine from the kitchen. The house was quieter, the hum of the party muffled by the walls. I was rummaging through the pantry when I heard voices from the living room, low, urgent, not meant for me. It was Mom and Clara, their words sharp and clipped, like they were trying to keep something caged. "You can't keep this from him forever, Mom," Clara said, her voice tight. "He's not a kid anymore. He deserves to know." My hand froze on the bottle. I should have walked away. I should have coughed, announced myself, anything to avoid what came next. But curiosity, that traitor, held me still. "It's not that simple," Mom hissed. "You think I wanted this? You think I chose to live with this lie for 30 years? If Ethan finds out, it'll destroy him. It'll destroy all of us." My heart stuttered. Ethan, me, what lie? I leaned closer, the bottle forgotten, my breath shallow. Clara's voice softened, but it carried a bitter edge. "He's going to find out eventually. You think he won't notice the way Dad looks at him sometimes? Like he's searching for something that isn't there? Or the way Nate gets all the praise, all the attention, while Ethan's just there? That's not fair," Mom snapped. "We've loved him the best we could. We gave him everything. Everything but the truth," Clara shot back. "He's not even—" The back door slammed open, and Nate's laughter flooded the house, cutting Clara off. I ducked back into the pantry, my pulse hammering, not even what. My mind raced, grasping at fragments, trying to piece together something that made sense. But nothing did. I waited until their voices faded, until the clink of glasses and the hum of conversation outside swallowed the moment. Then I grabbed the wine and walked back to the party, my legs unsteady, like I was crossing a bridge that might collapse. The rest of the night was a blur. I smiled, I laughed, I raised a glass to Dad's health, but it was all mechanical. My eyes kept drifting to Mom, to Clara, to Dad, searching for cracks in the facade I'd never noticed before. The way Mom's hand lingered on Nate's shoulder but barely grazed mine. The way Dad's stories about his childhood always seemed to skip over me, focusing on Clara's first steps or Nate's first word. Had it always been like this? Had I been too blind, too trusting to see it? When the party ended and the house grew quiet, I couldn't sleep. I sat in my old bedroom, the one I'd moved back into after Chicago, staring at the faded glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. My phone buzzed, Clara, texting to ask if I was okay. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my laptop and started digging. I don't know what I was looking for, some clue, some answer to the question I didn't even know how to ask. I scrolled through old family photos, searching faces for something I couldn't name. There was one from a trip to the Grand Canyon, all of us squinting into the sun, arms around each other. I looked at myself, 20 years old, grinning like I belonged. But did I? The next morning, I confronted Clara. She was in the kitchen, nursing a coffee, her hair still messy from the night before. "What were you and Mom talking about last night?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. Her eyes widened just for a second before she masked it with a laugh. "Eavesdropping, huh? It was nothing, Ethan, just family stuff." "Don't lie to me," I said, sharper than I meant. "I heard you. You said I deserved to know." "Know what?" She set her mug down, her hands trembling slightly. "Ethan, please, don't do this." "Tell me." I said, my voice breaking. What's the lie? What's been going on my whole life that I don't know about? She looked at me, her eyes filling with tears, and in that moment I knew whatever she said would change everything. You're not, she stopped, took a breath. You're not Dad's son. The room tilted. I gripped the counter, my knuckles white. What? Mom had an affair, Clara said, her voice barely above a whisper. Before you were born. Dad found out when she was pregnant with you. They decided to stay together to raise you as his. But you're not his biological son. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline, for the moment she'd laugh and say it was a cruel joke. But she didn't. She just sat there, tears streaming down her face while the world I'd known crumbled. Is that why? I asked, my voice hoarse. Is that why they treat me differently? Why I've always felt like I'm on the outside, even when I'm right there with you all? Ethan, no, she said, reaching for me. I pulled away. They love you, we all do. It's just complicated. Complicated? I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. My whole life is a lie, Clara. My name, my family, everything I thought I was, it's all fake. It's not fake, she said, desperate. You're still my brother. You're still a Campbell. Am I asked, because it doesn't feel like it. I left the kitchen, left the house, left Willow Creek. I drove for hours, no destination, just the need to move to outrun the truth. My father, the man who'd taught me how to ride a bike, who'd cheered at my high school graduation, wasn't my father. My mother had lied to me, to all of us, for 31 years. And Nate, my little brother, the golden child, did he know? Did he carry this secret too, or was he as clueless as I'd been? I ended up at a motel 2 towns over, the kind with flickering neon signs and stained carpets. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at my phone at the unanswered texts from Mom, from Clara, even one from Dad. Come home, Ethan, Mom wrote. We need to talk. But what was there to say? How do you rebuild trust when the foundation was never real? I thought about the years I'd spent trying to please them, to earn a place I thought I already had. The way I'd stayed in Willow Creek instead of chasing my dreams in Chicago because I didn't want to let them down. The way I'd ignored the subtle differences. The way Dad's pride seemed brighter for Nate. The way Mom's hugs felt just a little tighter for Clara. I'd told myself it was in my head that love doesn't play favorites. But it wasn't in my head. It was real, and it had been there all along, hidden in plain sight. The next few weeks were a fog. I didn't go home. I couldn't. I rented a small apartment in a neighboring town, using my savings to cover the deposit. I took freelance design jobs, enough to keep me afloat, but my heart wasn't in it. Every night I replayed that conversation, Clara's words cutting deeper each time. I tried to piece together who I was if I wasn't Ethan Campbell, son of Robert and Diane. Was I still their son? Did love matter if it was built on a lie? I started searching for my biological father. Clara didn't know much, just a name, Michael, and that he'd been a coworker of Mom's at the hospital where she'd worked as a nurse. I scoured old records, hospital directories from the early 90s, anything I could find online. I didn't know what I'd do if I found him. Confront him, ask him why he left, or just look at him, see if I could find myself in his face. One night I found a Michael Harper, a radiologist who'd worked at Willow Creek General in 1993. The timeline fit. I tracked down an address in Seattle, a phone number. My hands shook as I dialed, but when a woman's voice answered, I froze. Hello, she said again. I hung up. What was I even going to say? Hi, I might be your husband's secret kid. I didn't call back, but I kept his name in my pocket, a weight I carried everywhere. I wasn't ready to face him, not yet, maybe not ever. But knowing he existed, knowing there was another piece of me out there, gave me something to hold on to when everything else felt like it was slipping away. Clara kept texting, begging me to come back to talk. Mom sent long voicemails, her voice breaking as she said she loved me, that she'd never meant to hurt me. Dad called once, his message brief. Ethan, you're my son, always will be. I wanted to believe him, but the words felt hollow. How do you trust someone who's been lying to you your whole life? I thought about the Sunday dinners, the vacations, the moments I'd clung to as proof of our bond. Were they real? Or were they just a performance, a way to keep the illusion alive? I didn't know anymore. I didn't know if I could sit across from them at that table, past the mashed potatoes, and pretend everything was okay. I didn't know if I could look them in the eye without seeing the lie. But there was another part of me, quieter, that wondered if love could still mean something, even if it wasn't perfect. Clara's tears, Mom's voicemails, Dad's message, they weren't nothing. They were trying in their messy, flawed way to hold on to me. Maybe that was worth something, or maybe it wasn't. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still deciding if I can go back, if I can rebuild something with the pieces I have left. For now, I'm just Ethan, Not Campbell, not Harper, just me, trying to find a way to live with a truth I never asked for. So that is for today's story. If you like the story, share with others, and hit that subscribe button for this type of more stories.